Hello and welcome to the UPSC Quick Revision series. Today, we are going to discuss a very important and frequently debated topic in Indian polity, the collegium system. This is the system for the appointment and transfer of judges to the higher judiciary in India, namely the Supreme Court and the High Courts. Interestingly, this system is not mentioned in the Constitution, nor was it created by an Act of Parliament. Instead, it has evolved over time through Supreme Court judgments. So, what will we cover today? We will learn what this system is, how it evolved, its composition and functioning, and why it has been criticized. The evolution of the collegium system happened through a series of 3 judges' cases. In the first judge's case, 1981, the Supreme Court held that consultation does not mean concurrence, and the President could refuse the Chief Justice's recommendation for cogent reasons. This gave primacy to the executive. However, in the second judge's case, 1993, the court overruled its earlier decision and stated that consultation actually means concurrence. This judgment established the collegium system, giving primacy to the opinion of the Chief Justice and 2 senior-most judges, thereby securing the judiciary's primacy in the appointment process. Finally, in the third judge's case, 1998, on a presidential reference, the Supreme Court further clarified and expanded the concept of the collegium. The court ruled that recommendations for appointment should not be the CJI's individual opinion, but an institutional opinion formed after consulting with the 4 senior-most judges of the Supreme Court. This judgment established the current composition of the collegium. So, what is the current structure? For Supreme Court appointments, the collegium consists of the CJI and 4 senior-most judges. For High Court appointments, it includes the CJI and 2 senior-most judges. Now, how does the collegium actually work? For Supreme Court appointments, the collegium sends its recommendations to the government. The government conducts an inquiry through the Intelligence Bureau. It can raise objections, but if the collegium reiterates the same names, the government is obliged to appoint them. For High Courts, the process is slightly different. The High Court Collegium initiates the recommendation, which then passes through the state and the central governments before finally reaching the Supreme Court Collegium. This entire process is governed by a document called the Memorandum of Procedures, that is MOP. While this system aims to maintain judicial independence, it is criticized on several grounds. The biggest criticism is the lack of transparency. Collegium meetings are held in secret, and no reasons are given for why a candidate was selected or rejected. It is also accused of promoting nepotism. Critics argue that this system of judges appointing judges is undemocratic and lacks accountability. To address these shortcomings, in 2014, Parliament passed the 99th Constitutional Amendment and created the National Judicial Appointments Commission, that is NJAC. The NJAC was a 6-member body comprising members from both the judiciary and the executive, aimed at bringing transparency and balance to the appointment procedure. However, in 2015, in what is known as the 4th judge's case, the Supreme Court declared the NJAC unconstitutional. The court ruled that it violated the independence of the judiciary, which is part of the basic structure of the Constitution. With this judgment, the collegium system was restored. Now, let's test your understanding with some practice questions. I hope this explanation has made the collegium system clear to you. If you have any doubts or want us to cover another topic, drop your suggestions in the comments. Till then, keep following the Vision IAS Quick Revision series.